He found 2 lost sisters, and they both wanted him. The sun burned low as I rode. Dust rose behind my horse. My ranch waited ahead. Quiet, empty. But the road held something new. 2 figures sat by a dead tree. Thin, ragged faces pale. One girl raised her head. The other pushed her closer to me. "Keep moving," the older one snapped. Her voice was sharp, strong. The younger one lifted weak eyes. "Please, sir, help us." I pulled my reins. My horse stopped, snorting. I asked, "Who are you?" "None of your concern," the older spat. "Go." Her hands shook, but her eyes burned fire. The younger said softly, "My name is Clara. This is Lila. We are hungry." That word cut me. I looked at their thin arms, the dust on their faces. "You have no home?" I asked. Lila stepped in front of her sister. "We need nothing from you." Clara pulled her sleeve. "Please, Lila, he looks kind," Lila hissed. "Kind men want pay," I frowned. "I want nothing." "Just answers," Clara whispered. "Our father is gone. Our mother, too. We walked for days, no food, no water." Her lips trembled. She tried to stand but stumbled. I caught her arm before she fell. She was light as straw. Leila pushed my hand away. "Don't touch her," I said. "She will die if I ride on." Clara clung to my arm. "Please, sir," Leila glared. "Why would you care?" "She is nothing to you." I looked at her. Her face was dirt-stained, eyes sharp as knives. She stood like a wolf guarding her pack. I sighed. "I have food at my ranch." Clara's eyes widened. "Food?" "Yes," I said. "Come with me." Lila shook her head. "No, we don't need him," Clara whispered. "Lila, I can't walk more." She looked at me again. Hope burned weak in her pale eyes. I said, "You can stay one night." "No more, just to eat and rest." Lila crossed her arms. "If you hurt her, I'll kill you." I nodded. "Fair." She blinked, surprised. I helped Clara onto my horse. Lila climbed behind her, glaring at me the whole way. We rode in silence. The wind cut cold. Clara leaned against me, her breath weak. "Thank you," she whispered. I said nothing. My chest felt heavy. At the ranch, I helped her down. She staggered but stood. "Inside," I said. "There is bread, water, beans." Clara smiled faintly. "Thank you." Lila dragged her inside, still glaring. That night, they ate like wolves. Clara cried as she swallowed bread. "It's been so long," she whispered. Lila chewed hard, eyes on me. "Why are you doing this?" I leaned on the table. "Because I once knew hunger," Clara whispered. "Then you understand." Lila said coldly. "Understanding doesn't mean trust." I said, "You'll leave in the morning." "That's all." Clara lowered her head. "Yes, sir." When they slept by the fire, I stepped outside. The night was quiet, but my mind was not. I whispered to the land, "What have I done?" Morning came with voices. At the well, Mrs. Duffy shouted to another woman, "Ethan took 2 strays. Both under his roof." The other woman gasped. 2 sisters? How shameful. I clenched my fists. When I returned, Lila stood at the door. "They gossip already?" "Yes," I said. She smirked, bitter. "Told you. Men always bring ruin." Clara touched her sleeve. "Don't. He saved us." I looked at Clara's eyes, soft, gentle, hiding something I could not name. I realized then, these sisters carried more than hunger. They carried secrets. The sisters were stronger now. Clara smiled at the sun. Lila kept her eyes hard and sharp. I walked with them into town. Dust blew across the street. People stared at us. Mrs. Duffy stood by the store. She leaned close to another woman. Her voice was loud enough for all. 2 women under his roof, she said. "What do you think happens at night?" The woman gasped. "He brought them home?" "Alone?" I felt heat on my face. Clara touched my arm. "Don't mind them," she whispered. But I did mind. Every word felt like a stone. Sheriff Griggs came from the saloon. He spat in the dirt and walked over. His badge shone in the sun. "Morning, Ethan," he said. "I hear you've taken in strays." "They needed food," I said. "That's all." He tilted his head at Clara and Lila. "Strays bring trouble. Their father owed men." "Maybe you'll pay for it." Lila stepped forward. "We don't owe you a thing." Griggs smiled, slow and cold. "Maybe not me. But men come knocking when debt is owed." I clenched my fists. "They're safe on my ranch," the sheriff laughed. "Safe? A ranch with 1 man and 2 women?" "People talk." "Careful, Ethan. He walked away, boots heavy in the dust. Clara looked at me, eyes wide. You don't believe him, do you? I shook my head. I don't care what he says, Lila muttered. You should care. He doesn't warn. He hunts. We bought flour and beans. The shopkeeper's wife avoided my eyes. Whispers followed us down the street. Back at the ranch, Miguel met us at the gate. You hear them talking? He asked. Yes, I said. He scratched his beard. Duffy won't stop. The sheriff, too. They'll turn folks against you. I can handle it, I said. Lila crossed her arms. You can't handle lies with silence. They grow, Clara touched her sister's arm. Stop. You always fight. And you always smile, Lila shot back. Men fall for your smiles. Then you cry when they hurt you. Clara's face went red. She turned to me. I only wanted to thank him. He saved us, I raised my hands. Enough, you're both safe here. That's all that matters. The night came quiet. I sat by the fire with Clara. Lila stayed outside, sharpening a knife. Clara poured me tea. Her hands shook. You've been kind, she said softly. More than most men, I stared into the fire. It was the right thing. She leaned closer. You gave us a home. I want you to know, I'm grateful. Her words were soft, almost music. My chest tightened. I had not heard such kindness in years. Lila's voice cut through the door. Don't trust anyone, Clara flinched. I stood. She doesn't mean it. Yes, she does, Clara whispered. She always does. I stepped outside. Lila sat on the porch, knife in her lap. You don't sleep? I asked. Sleep is for fools, she said. Fools get burned. I sat beside her. You don't trust anyone, do you? She looked at me, eyes cold. Trust killed my father. Trust starved us. Trust will kill you too. I let her words sit heavy. The night wind carried them into my chest. The stars were sharp above us. I thought of the town, the whispers, the sheriff's smirk. I thought of Clara's smile. Of Lila's warning. My ranch had been quiet once. Now it breathed with fire and fear. I whispered to myself, how long before the storm comes? No answer came, only the crackle of the fire. I woke to smoke in the night. Flames lit the sky. The barn was burning! Get water! I shouted. Miguel ran past me, coughing. The heat slapped my face. Cattle screamed inside. The smell of burning hay rose fast. I grabbed a bucket and ran. Stay back! I yelled to Clara, but she ran to me anyway. Her eyes were wide with fear. Don't let me die! She cried. She clung to my arm. Her nails cut into my skin. I need both hands. I said, and go with Miguel. Help him! But she wouldn't move. She held me like iron. Her voice shook. They'll kill us in fire. I pulled free, breath ragged. Trust me. I'll save you. Then I heard Lila's voice. Get the cattle out, she screamed. She was already inside the barn. Damn it! I shouted. I ran to the door. Flames roared like beasts. Heat made my eyes burn. Lila pulled a calf by rope. Her face was black with ash. Move, stupid animal, she yelled. I grabbed the rope too. Together we dragged the calf. It kicked, but it lived. Outside, Clara cried again. Please don't leave me. Her hair glowed red in the firelight. I turned to her. You're safe. Stay back! Miguel threw water on the barn wall. It won't hold, he shouted. His voice cracked with fear. Get more, I yelled. But the flames kept rising higher. I saw Lila again. She pulled another cow, coughing hard. Smoke wrapped her like a shroud. Lila! Get out! I cried. But she waved me off. Not without them! She shouted. My chest burned. I pushed inside. Heat crushed me like a fist. I grabbed her arm. We'll die in here. Her eyes burned back at me. Better die saving than hiding, she said. She dragged the last cow. I shoved the gate open. We stumbled out, gasping air. Clara fell to her knees. She wrapped her arms around me. You saved me, she whispered, but I shook my head. Lila saved us, I said. She stood there, smoke curling from her dress. Her chest rose and fell hard. She didn't look at me. The barn crashed behind us. Timbers fell in sparks. The fire ate what was left. We stood in silence, broken. Miguel poured the last bucket. Too late, he muttered. We saved cattle, but not the barn. Clara leaned against me, trembling. Who did this? She asked. Her voice was thin as paper. I had no answer. But Miguel spat in the dirt. Griggs, he said. He wants the sisters. I stared at him. What proof? I asked. He shook his head. Men saw him near. That's enough, Clara gasped. He wants us dead. Her hands clutched my shirt. Lila spoke at last. Her voice was steady. Not dead, owned. She looked at me, eyes sharp. He'll burn everything until we're his. I felt anger in my chest. Fire still raged, but it was inside me now. He'll never take this ranch, I said. Not while I breathe. The sisters said nothing. The night was silent but for crackling wood. Ash rained down like snow. I looked at the black ruin. My hands shook. This ranch had been my life. Now it was scarred just like me, Clara whispered again. Don't let me die, her words cut deep. I held her close, though my eyes were on Lila. And in Lila's stare I saw war. The knock came hard on my door. I stepped outside. Sheriff Griggs stood with 3 men. His badge caught the sun. Ethan, he said. Time to settle business. I folded my arms. What business? He pointed toward the barn. The sisters. They're not free. Their father left debts. They belong to me now. Lila walked out, her jaw set. A rifle rested in her hands. They're not property, I said. Griggs smirked. Law says otherwise. And law's in my hands. Clara appeared behind me, her eyes wet. Please, she whispered. Don't fight him. We can leave, I turned to her. Leave? With nothing? He'll sell you, Griggs laughed. Smart man. Knows how this works. 2 women fetch good money. Lila raised the rifle. Touch us and I'll kill you. His men chuckled. She's got fire, one said. Put it down, Griggs warned. You don't scare me. I stepped between them. Lila, not now. Her eyes burned. He won't stop. He will, I said. My chest felt tight. Griggs spat in the dust. Fine words, rancher, but debts don't vanish. Your land or the girls, choose. Clara grabbed my sleeve. Please, Ethan, just give him something. I don't want blood, Lila snarled. Better blood than chains. The men shifted, hands near guns. The air cracked with tension. I said, steady. You're not taking them. This ranch is mine. They're safe here. Griggs's eyes narrowed. Safe? Nothing's safe when money's owed. He leaned close, his voice low. You think you're a hero? You're just another fool who'll pay. I clenched my fists. Then I'll pay with my own hands, not theirs. Lila's voice cut through. He's lying, Ethan. He'll never stop. Clara sobbed louder. Don't do this. Please, peace is better. Griggs lifted his hat. Their father owed me. Gamblers never win. Now the daughters pay. The truth stung. I faced them. Is it true? Lila looked away. Yes, father lost everything. Cards, money, even us, Clara buried her face. We were debt before we were born. Griggs spread his arms. See, it's simple. They're mine. You're standing in the way. I stared at the sisters. My voice shook. You're free here. I don't care what he says. Griggs shoved a finger in my chest. Then you'll pay the price. The men laughed again. One muttered, Dead man walking. Lila cocked the rifle. Try it, I dare you. I raised my hand. Stop. No blood today. She lowered it, slow, but her eyes stayed locked on him. Clara whispered, trembling. Why can't we just run? Because running never ends, I said. You deserve more. Griggs stepped back, smirk wide. Fine, rancher. Keep your whores. I'll be back. And when I come, you'll wish you paid. He whistled to his men. They turned, dust rising with their boots. I stood still, my breath heavy. Lila cursed. He'll burn this place. I know, I said. Clara clutched my arm. Why didn't you give him something? Because you're not his to take. She shook her head. You don't understand. He always wins. Lila spat in the dirt. Not this time. I'll kill him first. Her words were steel. Clara's were tears. Both cut me. I said, listen, I can fight, but I need truth. No more secrets. Lila crossed her arms. The debt is real. Father signed it with blood. We've run ever since, Clara whispered. He sold us before he died. We were children. My stomach twisted. And now Griggs hunts you? Yes, Lila said. And he won't stop. I looked at both sisters. One fire, one fear. My ranch now carried their past. I said firm. Then this is war. Clara waited by the corral. Her hands held the rail, her eyes fixed on the horses. The wind played with her hair. I stepped close. She turned, her face soft. Ethan, she whispered. Yes? I said. My voice felt tight. She bit her lip. You saved us. You gave us food, a home. I nodded. Anyone would. No, she said. Her eyes filled with tears. Not anyone. You did. I looked down. My boots pressed into dust. It was right. She stepped closer. I feel something for you. I think I love you. My heart froze. Her words hit like thunder. Clara, I began. She held my arm. I know I'm weak. I know I need help. But when you speak, I feel safe. I feel alive. I swallowed hard. Clara, this is sudden. She smiled faintly. I only wanted you to know. Her hand slipped away. She walked toward the house. My chest burned. I turned. Then I saw Lila. She stood in the shadows of the barn. Her eyes were sharp as knives. You heard? I asked. She stepped forward. Every word. I rubbed my forehead. Lila, she raised her hand. Don't explain. I didn't say anything, I muttered. You should have, she snapped. You should have told her no. I stared at her. She spoke from her heart. What should I do? Crush her? Yes, Lila said coldly. Better crushed now than broken later. Her voice shook with anger. Clara can't survive more pain. She already carries too much. I clenched my fists. And you? Do you carry nothing? Her face hardened. I carry enough for both of us. I protect her always. I stepped closer. And who protects you, Lila? Her breath caught. For a moment her fire faded. Then she shook her head. Don't try to twist this. I'm not twisting anything, I said. My voice rose. You act strong, but I see your fear too. Her eyes glistened. Fear is fine. Betrayal is not. The word stung. It pulled an old scar open. My past betrayal, the wound that never healed, rose in my chest. You think I will betray Clara? I asked quietly. I know men, Lila said. I know how fast love fades. She is soft. She will give you her whole heart. You will not hold it. You will break it. I turned away, pacing. You don't know me. I know enough, she said. I spun back. And if I told you it is not Clara who makes my heart race? If I told you it is your fire that wakes me? Her breath caught again. Her hands trembled, though she tried to hide it. Don't say that, she whispered. Why not? I asked. Because, she said, her voice low, if Clara hears, it will kill her. Silence stretched between us. The night wind howled across the ranch. Finally, Lila said, Choose wisely, Ethan. One path will give you peace. The other will destroy her, and maybe you. She turned and walked into the dark. I stood alone, my chest torn in two. For the first time in years since betrayal broke me, I felt alive again. But the life burned hot and dangerous. Which sister did I trust? Which heart should I hold? The fire inside me gave no answer. I woke to a sound outside. The night was still, the ranch quiet. But I heard footsteps near the barn. I grabbed my coat and slipped out. The moon gave little light on the ground. I saw Clara walking fast toward town. Her dress brushed the dirt as she moved. My chest tightened. Why was she leaving? I followed from a distance, careful and slow. She didn't look back. She kept walking fast. Her steps were light, but her path sure. I knew she had a reason tonight. Fear grew inside me with every step. When she reached the edge of town, she stopped. A dark figure waited in the shadows. My blood turned cold. It was Sheriff Griggs. He leaned close, his voice sharp and low. What did you bring me, girl? He asked. Clara's hands shook, but her voice was steady. I'll give you Ethan, she whispered to him. My stomach twisted like a knife inside me. The words cut deeper than any bullet could. Griggs smirked. You'd trade him for your freedom? She nodded quickly. Yes, just let us go. I pressed myself against the wall, fighting to breathe. The woman I had saved had sold me. Her soft smile, her gentle words, they were lies. The world spun, the night grew heavier around me. Griggs chuckled, cruel, his teeth bright in the dark. One sister loyal, he sneered. One sister desperate. His words echoed like a hammer in my skull. I wanted to step out to end this, but I stayed frozen, torn between rage and sorrow. Clara's betrayal burned hotter than fire in my chest. I thought of her kind eyes at the ranch. I thought of her gentle hand in mine. It was all dust, smoke, and empty promise. She chose her life over my trust tonight. Griggs placed his hand on her shoulder. You'll have peace, he said, but he will not. Her head bowed low, but she did not fight. She let him lead her deeper into town. I stayed behind, rooted like a dying tree. The sound of their steps faded into silence. I walked back through the night alone. The stars above felt like eyes watching me. The air was cold, but my heart colder. My boots dragged heavy across the dirt road. I remembered her words at the fire once. "You saved me," she had whispered with tears. Now those same lips had condemned me tonight. When I reached the ranch, the house was dark. But one lamp burned low near the porch. Lila sat waiting, her face pale in the glow. She looked at me, eyes sharp, voice steady. "You followed her, didn't you?" she asked softly. I nodded. No words could leave my throat. Her jaw tightened. "I warned you, Ethan." I dropped into a chair, burying my face. She gave me away. I finally said, broken. The words cracked as they left my mouth. Lila stood, stepping closer, her shadow over me. Her hand rested on my shoulder, firm, strong. "I told you she was weak," she whispered. "But I won't leave you." Not ever. I lifted my head, searching her eyes for truth. Her gaze didn't falter, didn't drift, didn't lie. The silence between us carried more than words. I knew the truth now, heavy and sharp. One sister would save herself at any cost. The other would bleed beside me if needed. My heart ached with both pain and clarity. Clara had betrayed me. Lila had stayed. The night stretched on, long and bitter cold. I didn't sleep. I couldn't close my eyes. Every time I did, I saw Clara's face. I heard her whisper, promising my life to Griggs. I sat awake, staring at the dying fire. My fists clenched, my chest hollow and burned. The ranch was quiet, but peace was gone. I had lost more than I could ever say. When dawn came, the light felt cruel, not warm. The land looked the same, but I was not. Something inside me had broken in the dark. I had believed in Clara, and she sold me. Now only Lila stood by me, fierce and loyal. I feared the war ahead would test us all. I woke to the sound of boots. The air was still dark. Miguel shouted, "Riders! At the gate!" I grabbed my rifle and ran. Lila stood at the porch. Her hair was loose, eyes burning. "They came," she said coldly. "Yes," I answered. "We fight." Gunfire broke the morning silence. Bullets hit the barn walls. The cattle screamed inside the pen. Clara ran out, pale and shaking. "Stay down!" I shouted at her. She cried, I can't!" Lila pulled her behind a trough. "Cry later," Lila snapped. "Fight now!" Griggs rode in, rifle in hand. His men spread wide across the yard. "Give them up," he shouted at me. "Give me the sisters or burn!" I lifted my rifle and fired. A man fell from his horse. The others answered with fire back. The wood around me splintered loud. Miguel ducked, clutching his shoulder. Blood spread fast through his shirt. "I'll live," he hissed through teeth. "Shoot straight, boss." "Don't miss," I fired again, hitting another rider. My chest burned with rage inside. "They came to take my land. They came to take my family." Lila screamed, "Left side!" and fired. Her bullet caught a man square. She reloaded fast, hand steady, sure. "She was fire, she was steel," Clara sobbed, covering her ears tight. "Stop it, please, stop it," she begged. I felt fury boil in my veins. "Stand or hide," I told her. Griggs laughed, his voice sharp, cruel. "You can't win, Ethan," he shouted. "Your ranch is mine. Your women too." I aimed at him and missed. A bullet cut into my arm. The pain was hot, bright, sharp. I staggered but held the rifle. Blood ran down, staining my shirt. Lila pulled me back behind cover. "You're hit," she said, voice urgent. "I'm fine," I lied, gripping the gun. "Keep firing!" "Don't let them pass," Miguel groaned, still bleeding near the barn. He lifted his pistol with shaking hand. He fired once, dropping another outlaw down. "Still got it," he muttered weakly. The fight raged across my yard. Smoke, dust, blood filled the air. Horses screamed, men cursed, bullets sang. It felt like hell had come here. Griggs charged, swinging his rifle high. He shouted, "Your time is done!" I aimed again, but my arm failed. The bullet went wide, hitting dust. He raised his gun straight at me. Lila ran forward, fearless, gun blazing. She shot first, grazing his shoulder deep. He cursed, turned his aim on her. "No!" I shouted, lifting my rifle. My chest ached, but I fired true. The bullet struck him through the chest. He fell hard into the dirt. Silence fell as smoke drifted off. The last riders turned and fled. Bodies lay broken across my yard. The sun rose red over blood. Clara crawled from behind the trough. Her face was white, eyes wide. "He's dead?" she asked in a whisper. "Yes," I said. "Griggs is gone," she sobbed, covering her mouth tight. "I didn't want this," she whispered. Lila looked at her with scorn. "You didn't fight. You hid." Clara cried louder, shaking her head. I couldn't. I was afraid, Ethan. I turned away, chest heavy with pain. Fear and betrayal lived beside me. Miguel groaned, clutching his bloody side. We need bandages, he muttered faintly. Go, Lila said, rushing to his aid. I'll stop the bleeding, hold on. I dropped my rifle into the dust. My arm burned, my shirt soaked red. I staggered to the porch and sat. The land smelled of gunpowder and blood. Clara knelt beside me, trembling hard. You could have died, she whispered soft. I almost did, I answered, voice low. Her hand reached for mine, cold. I pulled away, eyes on Lila. She pressed rags to Miguel's wound, firm. Her face was strong, steady, unbroken. She had fought like fire in storm. I whispered to myself, truth is clear. Betrayal and loyalty lived in this house. One hid, one fought, one bled for me. Now I knew where I stood. The ranch was scarred, broken, burned. But it still stood, and so did I. And beside me stood one woman, strong. A sister forged in fire, in blood. The town whispered my name again. Some said, he is a hero. Others said, he is a fool. I felt both at the same time. At the market, heads turned as I passed. Men tipped hats, women stared with cold eyes. Children pointed at me and whispered. The rancher with 2 women, they said. I pulled my hat lower and walked on. Back at the ranch, Clara waited by the porch. Her face was pale, her eyes red. Please, she said, let me explain. I stopped and folded my arms. What can you say now? I asked. Her lips shook. I went to Griggs because I was afraid. Her voice cracked like glass. He promised safety. I thought he could help. I clenched my fists. You gave me to him instead. Tears rolled down her face. I wanted to protect Lila, she said. I thought I had no choice. The door opened. Lila stepped out, her jaw tight. You always have a choice, she snapped. Her eyes burned at Clara. You betrayed the man who saved us. Clara shook her head. I never meant to hurt him. She turned to me again. Ethan, I love you, she said softly. Please forgive me. Please trust me again, my chest ached. Her words felt sweet and cruel together. I wanted to believe her, but I saw her with Griggs that night. Lila walked closer. Her hand brushed my arm. A woman who betrays once will betray again, she said. Her voice was sharp, but her eyes were wet. I stepped back, torn in two. The sisters stood before me, both shaking. Clara's tears begged for mercy. Lila's anger begged for truth. My heart thudded heavy in my chest. Later, I went to Pastor Jacobs. He sat on the church steps, watching the sky. You carry a storm in your face, he said. I need counsel, I told him. He nodded slowly. Tell me, he said. I told him about Clara's words, her tears. I told him about Lila's warning, her fire. He rubbed his beard and sighed. A man may fight battles with guns, he said. But the hardest battle is here. He tapped his chest. Which sister will stand beside you when storms return? The question struck deep. I had no answer. Clara's kindness had warmed me many nights. Her smile had felt like light in dark days. But she had walked with my enemy. Lila had been fire, proud and fierce. She had fought by my side with no fear, but she carried scars, sharp as knives. Her love would burn, not soothe. I walked back to the ranch at dusk. The sky bled orange and red. The land smelled of dust and smoke. My soul felt like both. At the gate, Miguel stopped me. He leaned on his crutch, still weak. You look heavy, boss, he said. 2 women, 1 heart. That's no easy fight, I nodded. What would you do? I asked. Miguel spat in the dirt. I'd pick the one who won't sell me, he said. Love don't matter if trust is gone. His words cut sharp. I thanked him and went inside. Clara sat at the table, her head down. She lifted her eyes when I entered. Ethan, she whispered, I will never leave you again. Her hand reached across the table. I froze. Then I felt another presence. Lila stood in the doorway, arms crossed. She said nothing. Her silence was louder than any word. I could not breathe. My chest filled with fire and ash. I wanted peace, but peace was gone. Only choice remained. I walked past them both and out again. I stood in the yard, staring at the sky. The moon rose pale and cold. I whispered, God, give me strength. The town whispered still. Hero, fool, rancher, betrayed. But only I could answer one thing. Which woman would walk with me into tomorrow? My heart trembled. The choice of a man was near. I stood by the fresh grave, the shovel heavy in my hand. Dust rose with every step, and the silence cut deeper than any wound. Miguel leaned against the barn wall, scarred but breathing. His eyes followed me, tired but alive. "Boss," he said softly, "we won." I looked at him. "We survived." "That's not the same," he gave a weak smile. "Still counts." I dropped the shovel, my chest tight. Clara walked forward, her dress torn, her face pale. She fell to her knees in the dirt before me. "I loved you," she cried. Her voice cracked like glass. I was afraid. Her tears ran into the dust. She grabbed my hand, shaking. "I never wanted to betray you. I thought it was the only way." My throat burned. "The only way?" I asked. "You gave me to Griggs. You gave me to death." She pressed her face into my hand. "I begged him to spare us. I thought I could protect Lila. I thought I could protect you." I failed. Behind her, Lila stood with arms crossed. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. Her eyes stayed steady, sharp as steel. "Don't believe her," Lila said coldly. "A woman who betrays once will betray again." Clara lifted her head, sobbing. I swear it was fear. I swear I wanted to live. I stepped back, pulling my hand away. The grave waited behind me, fresh and raw. "Fear has a price," I whispered. "I paid it in blood," Miguel coughed. "Ethan," he said, "the choice is yours. But don't drag it forever." The words cut. I turned to Lila. "You won't speak for yourself?" I asked. She shook her head. "I don't need to beg," I stayed. "That's enough." Her calm voice hit harder than Clara's screams. Clara reached again. "I loved you first. I smiled at you when you found us. I believed in you. Can't you see that?" I closed my eyes, pain splitting me in two. Her words carried truth but also poison. "You smiled," I said. "Then you broke me." The air grew heavy. Pastor Jacobs walked from the church ruins. His face was dark with ash. "Ethan," he said, "forgiveness saves the soul." "But forgiveness does not mean trust," Clara cried harder. "Please, don't leave me with nothing." I stared at her. My hands trembled. I remembered her laughter, her soft touch, the nights she whispered hope. Then I remembered her whisper to Griggs, selling me for her own fear. I stepped back again. "You broke the promise," I said. "I can't live with that weight." Her mouth opened, but no words came. She collapsed forward, her sobs shaking the dirt. Lila stepped close, her voice firm. "You chose, Ethan. Let the past die." I looked at her. Her face was strong, her hands rough from work. She had fought beside me, bled beside me, and never left. "You didn't ask for love," I said, "but you gave me loyalty." Lila's eyes softened for the first time. "And loyalty builds love," Clara screamed, clawing at the ground. "You'll regret this." "You'll regret it." The words pierced, but I didn't move. My choice was carved in stone. Pastor Jacobs bowed his head. "Ashes to ashes," he whispered. "Answers in the dust." Miguel limped forward. "Boss, let's go inside." "The night is cold," I nodded. My voice shook as I whispered to the grave, to the past, to myself. My scars remind me of the cost. Betrayal cut me, but it also shaped me. What remains is not weakness. What remains is me. I turned, leaving Clara in the dust, leaving the grave behind. My future waited, silent but alive. The wind cut across the fields, cold and sharp. My coat flapped, and the soil under my boots felt heavy. I looked at the land and whispered, "This ranch is mine. My life is mine." The words tasted bitter, but also true. Lila walked near the barn, a basket in her arms. Clara was gone. She left at dawn, her head low, her voice broken. "I can't stay," she said. I only nodded. I did not beg. I'd begged once before, and it nearly cost me everything. Lila saw me standing still. "You okay?" she asked. "I don't know," I said. "The ranch feels empty." She set down her basket. "Empty or free?" I did not answer. My chest carried scars deeper than my skin. At supper, the fire cracked. The smell of beans filled the air. Lila sat across from me, her eyes steady. "You miss her," she said. I took a slow breath. "I miss what I thought she was." "She fooled you," Lila said. But she fooled me too. She was my sister. I wanted to believe in her. "Blood doesn't always mean truth," I said. She nodded, silent for a long while. Then she whispered, "Do you hate her?" I stirred my beans. I don't hate her.
I hate the lie.
I hate that I let it grow inside me. Hate eats a man. I don't want that anymore. Her face softened. Then maybe you're stronger than you think. Later, I walked the fence line. The cattle moved slow, heads down in the dark. I touched the wood posts, strong again after fire and blood. We rebuild, I whispered to the earth. We always rebuild. Miguel limped toward me from the bunkhouse, his arm still stiff from the fight. Fence looks good, he said. You fixed most of it, I said. He grinned. I fixed half. You fixed the rest. That's family now. I felt the word hit me hard. Family, broken, rebuilt, but real. Night came. Lila sat by the fire inside. She hummed low, her voice steady. I sat beside her, my body tired but restless. She leaned closer. You think the town will forget? They never forget, I said. But they stop talking when a man survives. Scars speak louder than gossip, she touched my hand. And love speaks louder than scars. I looked at her, the firelight on her face. You think we can build from all this? She nodded. We already started. The next morning I found her planting seeds near the burned field. The soil turned dark under her hands. She pressed each seed down with care, her hair falling over her shoulder. You work like it matters, I said. It does, she said. Each seed says tomorrow still exists. I knelt beside her, pressing dirt over a row. Tomorrow feels far away, she smiled faintly. It always does. That's why we plant anyway. Her words sank into me deeper than the seeds. At noon, Pastor Jacobs came. He stood at the gate, hat in hand. Heard Clara left, he said. She did, I answered. You let her go? I had to, I said. You can't change someone who already betrayed you. He studied me. And you? You carry her still? I nodded. I carry her ghost, but not her chains. He placed a hand on my shoulder. Then maybe the Lord freed you too. I did not know if it was God or pain or fire, but I felt lighter. That night, Lila leaned against me by the fire. She whispered, You gave me life. I kissed her hair and answered, No, you gave me mine. Her tears fell silent, warm against my chest. I closed my eyes. Clara's shadow lingered, but it no longer ruled me. My scars hurt, but they belonged to me. Betrayal carved me, but love built me. This was what remained of me.